Vet Voice Foundation welcomes you here, and as a veteran personally, thank you for being here. We found a huge majority of veterans not only want to protect the outdoors, but really support the Land and Water Conservation Fund. It's a great way to conserve these outdoor areas, and it doesn't cost taxpayers any money. It all comes from offshore oil revenues, which just kind of makes a lot of sense to me. If we're going to deplete our natural resources in one area, let's put the money back into areas that our families can enjoy.
I see it happen now time and time again with a lot of our veterans, service members, and military family members using that outdoors as a way to heal from mental health issues or even physical issues.
Our program, Rivers Recovery, utilizes getting our veterans out in the great outdoors. It's important for our guys to get out there because they're not in a clinical environment. They're out there, we're scientifically proven, and it shows the effectiveness, whether it be fly fishing, hiking, mountain biking. There's something therapeutic about being outdoors.
And once we rediscover how great it is out there, then it becomes an easy opportunity for us to start reconnecting with family and friends as well and sharing those experiences with them.
The idea of taking resources, reinvesting them in our lands and our infrastructure, protecting the places that are precious to all of us. That's what the Land and Water Conservation Fund does. The President has been strongly supportive of reauthorizing the Land and Water Conservation Fund. We're going to continue that message. I think with this kind of alliance and others that are out there, I'm going to be confident that we can get things done by building broad coalitions that are indifferent to political affiliation to drive home solutions for American values.
It's for the future generations. Our generation had an opportunity to participate in activities using the land and the waterways that are available. And I think it's important that the longevity is there so that our future generations can take advantage of the same opportunities that we were afforded when we were younger.
Really, why we're here is to tell Congress that we just need two things from them, just two things. And those are, one, to reauthorize the law. It needs to be reauthorized. And then two, fully fund it so that it continue to provide places like this.
Without the right funds, then you have stuff go into disrepair. And when you have things in disrepair, whether it be a pond that has infiltration into the area, then it actually costs more money in the future. So by actually appropriating the money now, what we're doing is maintaining it properly.
There's pressures on our public lands, there's pressures given the impacts of climate change on our landscapes. It weighs in favor even more urgently these days of taking care and protecting those public lands, doing conservation where it's needed and where it's appropriate, that I think will sustain the health of our landscapes. And so from that standpoint, the Land and Water Conservation Fund is a fundamental part of that strategy of how we're going to protect these precious parts of the United States.
This is an important event for me. As a service member, coming home, serving in the 1st Infantry Division as a sniper in Kosovo and Iraq, I went into the outdoors right away. It seemed like a natural place to go to try to get my head together from a long deployment in Iraq. Personally, if it wasn't for our public lands, I probably wouldn't be standing here today. Being able to find the solace of a quiet stream or being able to hike in the woods really brought me to center. And many of those areas that I utilized coming home and transitioning were protected through the Land and Water Conservation Fund.